Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you today with the Legends House review. I didn't get a chance to watch this last night. I know last week I didn't get a chance to watch it till Friday as well, and I said that I was going to try to make sure that I got used to watching Legends House on Thursday. But last night, after Peyton's softball game, we went on a Simpsons, I guess you can say a long run, a Simpsons marathon. Which ended up getting me in trouble because at 9:15 I didn't even realize that Peyton wasn't asleep when Mom came home, and there was some heat in the house. But this morning I watched the Legends House show, and I actually really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I listened to a little part of a very bad review from Granny of the Brian and Vinny show, and I was not looking forward to it. I was thinking maybe this might be the show that breaks the camel's back, but honestly, one small still little complaint is that the show's a little bit too long. At 45 minutes, it would be a lot better if this was edited down to 30. But I thought this was a really cool show. Ashley comes into the house very early into the episode and says that they have accepted a challenge for them. They're going to go out bowling against a team that has challenged them to a bowling match, bowling game, a bowl-a-thon, maybe a bowl-a-rama. I'm not sure what you call. I don't watch a lot of bowling on TV. I like to go bowl down at the local bowling alley, but I don't know what you actually call a competition. Is it a bowling competition? Maybe that's what we'll do. So the Legends are all there when they are met by the Queens, and this was instant comedy. There was a lot of just sort of adult humor in this episode, a lot of innuendo jokes. Basically, they got met by a team of almost, I guess you can say, grandmas, maybe MILFs, GILFs, I'm not sure. But there was boner alert. If you can remember them going to Zumba's class last week, how Roddy Piper had to go sit in the corner basically because he was too handsy-feely with the girls that were there. They were into these ones, especially Mean Gene, who was calling out the one that he wanted to get with. Man, I think Mean Gene took one back to the house. If this was the real world, we would have been getting that, black and white sort of surveillance footage camera. Mean Gene rolling around in the sheets with a tomato. But this was good stuff. Honestly, when they got there, I don't know. Howard Finkel was fired up to go bowling. He thought it was going to be a real fun. Throwing the ball around. He said that they had some real, good bowlers on the team. The only problem is when they started bowling, nobody took any practice throws. Everybody walked out there, thought they were, I don't know, Bill Murray, I guess you can say, from Kingpins, whatever his character's name, and was just started throwing the ball down the alley. Everybody threw a gutter ball here or there. Mean Gene, didn't even know where to throw the ball from. He didn't really even have a release. He basically just put the ball down and it rolled all the way down the alley. And the girls, who were an experienced bowling team, was murdering them. They were kicking their ass, and it was Howard Finkel, the first one to step up and was like, this isn't going to happen. We're not going to lose to these girls. He started talking everybody up about being a legend and how they got to compete. Roddy Piper basically cut a promo before he went out there and threw a ball down the alley. It got the team fired back up. He threw the first strike, and everybody started, getting into the game. And, it was a little too late when it all came down to it. The final count was 800 pins to 700 pins. The Legends House fell to the team. But honestly, they did a whole lot better than I think a lot of the people thought they would have done. And it was a fun way to kick off this show. As they went back to the house, they immediately got back into a second challenge. Ashley came right back over. You can tell it's the same day because she's wearing the same clothes. And they were told that they were going to be split into two teams. They had to make two different commercials for two different local businesses. Honestly, I thought one of the teams was a whole lot better and did a way better job at this. They were split into Pat Patterson, Jimmy Hart, Mean Gene, and Hillbilly Jim. They went to a local car wash where they had to make a 30-second car wash commercial, and they had a pretty good idea of what they were going to do until they sat down and tried to do the script. Jimmy Hart played the heel in this competition. Basically, he was the person that nobody wanted to be around because he was making this a little bit too hard than it should have been. At one point, the hijinks comedy came out as, Pat Patterson, who I said was on his game, was saying this place had the best hand wash in town. No, the best hand job in town is what it was. And basically, come on down because we have the best blower as well. He was on the top of his game. He was kicking out things because it's good because the last few episodes, Pat Patterson has been the guy who sort of just sits in the corner with his cigarettes and just sort of collects his check. When the team split up, you had Mean Gene, Roddy Piper, you had Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you had Tony Atlas on the other team. They were delivered a very bad product. They had a guy who basically rented out rubber duckies and the 80s pink flamingos for parties and events. How they were able to, scrap this up into a commercial, I don't know. But basically, every idea that Tony Atlas said that he wanted to do was shot down. Everything that Tony Atlas wanted to do during the commercial, he just wanted to be the guy who held the camera. Everything he was doing, Piper basically told him he was doing it wrong. Somehow, when they, they edited up these commercials and they did the competition at the end, I don't know how, because I thought the car wash one was 10 times better and 10 times more funny. Somehow, the flamingos, flock of flamingos, somehow they won, even though they had a breakdown during the car wash where they were pushing the car through, and the car wash attendant pressed the button to basically set the car wash off as all the guys who were in there. Pat Patterson blew up. He wanted to blame everybody for being the guy who pressed the button. Everybody was blaming Jimmy Hart because he was the guy of the day that just wasn't getting along. Tony Atlas basically quit on his team. Roddy Piper, woke up the next morning, basically said, I can't have somebody here hating me for the rest of their life, which is basically because of a car wash, because of a pink flamingo commercial. So he knew the better thing to do to squash the heat. He woke up, he went over, he apologized. He shook Tony Atlas's hand. He gave him a big kiss on the shoulder, on his big old muscle right there. Boom! Tony Atlas style. And basically they were told what they won was a trip to Las Vegas. The winners got to go in a stretch limo where they could relax, while the losing team had to get into the 15-piece passenger van with the cast of cameramen and all of their gear, and they were riding into Las Vegas. Basically, Howard Finkel was taunting the van out of the window with his rubber ducky and his pink flamingo, and the tensions were already pretty hot inside the van. It looked like, because it was a 15-passenger van, they all had enough room to really stretch out. 2 people on a van seat isn't that bad, especially when it's Hillbilly Jim, Jimmy Hart, Pat Patterson, and Mean Gene, not the the biggest wrestlers of the group. I think that Hillbilly Jim's the tallest of them all, but he was the one that was really the quietest the most. Everybody else, the little guys, were really the ones doing the bitching about everything. And how a team with Mean Gene Okerlund and Jimmy Hart, 2 of the best voice guys in the business, can lose this competition, I got no clue. But as they're driving down the road, basically the highway patrol pulls over the limousine, and that's where they end the show with the big drama about what's going on. I don't know what's going down, but this is a reality show, so basically that is the hook to make you tune in next week. And then when you tune in next week, more than likely it'll be nothing of what you thought it was, and maybe the cop will pull him over, get out of the car, and then he'll start stripping on the side of the freeway. Legends House hijinks. I don't know. Maybe the guy started blowing Pat Patterson or something. But we'll go from there. Everybody have fun. Legends House. Best show on the network. And I think they say it's the highest rated show on the network that most people watch. So we'll see where it goes from there. Peace out, everybody. Episode 3.